Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be going over problem 3.2 in your homework, and this problem relates to problem 3.1 in that we're looking at a financial institution, Goodfellows National Bank, and we're looking at DEUs and SEUs, and in this case the surplus economic units are the bank's depositors, which are just households, and the DEUs are businesses. The deficit economic units are the businesses that they make loans to. So in this first scenario, they're paying 5% to their depositors for keeping their money in either savings or CDs, which are certificates of deposits. And so they're paying that out to depositors to keep that money in their bank, and then they're loaning that, they're pooling those small deposits, and they're loaning that out to businesses at a rate of 10% interest. So what is the spread? Well, the spread is simply the difference. So if they're paying 5% to their depositors, and they're earning 10% from the business loans that they make, the money that they loan out, then they're earning the difference. The spread is 5%. So if we do the simple math on that, we just simply say 10% or 0.10 rate on loans made minus 0.05 rate paid to depositors equals 0.05 or 5% interest rate spread. Easy enough. Okay, part B right here in this problem is a little more complicated, but not much more. We're doing what's called weighted averages. So in this scenario, we have the depositors broken into two categories. One is passbook savings, and the bank is paying 5% to depositors who put their money in savings accounts, and that's half of the money. Right here, it makes up 50% of all funds on hand, and the other half is going to be certificates of deposit, or CDs, and they're paying a little higher interest rate, 7% on that. And you might ask why, and simply certificates of deposit tend to be a little bit longer term. You're penalized if you take your money out early, so you're going to get a little bit higher interest rate on that type of savings. So we want to figure out what that weighted average on the deposit rate is. So if we look right down here, we just simply say, okay, half of it, 0.5, they're paying 5% on, and we add that to the other half, 0.5 times what they're paying 7% on. So 0.5 times 0.05 plus 0.5 times 0.07 is a weighted average of 0.06, which is a 6% weighted average on the deposit rate that the bank is paying. Now, we do the exact same thing for to get the weighted average loan rate. And we go back up here to the problem, and we can see that short-term loans make up half of all their loans outstanding, and they're paying 10% on short-term loans, and they're paying 12% on long-term loans, which makes up the other half of loans outstanding. So we simply do the same type of weighted average calculation again. And before I jump to that, I just wanted to say the reason typically why there's a little higher interest rate paid on a long-term loan is the longer the loan goes out, the less predictable the less you can predict what's going to happen with the economy. So it's a lot harder to know what the to come up with a number for expected inflation 10 years from now, or even 5 years from now, than just next year. So when loans are for longer terms, they typically come with what's called a maturity premium, which makes the interest rate a bit higher. Okay, so anyway, let's jump down to our calculation. We just simply say, okay, half is the short-term loans are 10%, and that's half of the loans outstanding, and then the other half, 0.5, is a 12% long-term. We do the simple math, and we get an 11% weighted average loan rate. And then in order to get the interest rate spread, we simply do what we did in Part A and subtract what they're earning on their loans from what they're paying on their deposits, and we get a 5% interest rate spread. And that is problem 3-2.